Welcome back, Top 10 Gaming fans. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and today we'll be bringing you the Top 10 Sonic Creepypastas. Coming in at number 10, Sonic Minecraft. This scary Sonic story comes to us in a brilliant recreation of Sonic.exe, but with the key players in a Minecraft game instead. The main character receives a package at his door, and inside is the Sonic.exe with a note from his friend that says, "Do not play, you must destroy this." Believing that it's just a prank, he decides to play it anyways. Then the words "hide and seek selected" appear on the screen, and that's when his whole house goes completely dark. When he turns around, a creepy Minecraft version of Sonic is running towards him with a look of ill intent. Right before he's attacked, the character wakes up. Just believing it was all a dream, he goes to school the next day. That's when he begins to see the demonic Sonic character everywhere he goes. The teacher asks our main character to take his friend some homework because he's been out all week. And when our guy goes to his friend's house who sent him the Sonic game, his mother answers the door in tears and can only get out the words "he's gone" as she closes the door. That night when gaming again, the screen changes to this.
What?
Then seemingly out of nowhere, the Sonic demon appears and chases him down, but this time, it wasn't a dream. Number 9, Anti-Sonic. This creepypasta comes to us from a strange audio file found on a website that after 3 days was removed. The creepy audio is just 26 minutes of someone talking about their experience with Sonic.exe. This Sonic.exe though wasn't the original game, but rather one created after the first original myth. While on Steam, the gamer begins to hear laughter through his headphones and someone calling him out by name. He then begins to experience very strange and creepy things happening to his computer, ranging from his monitor acting up to scratch marks on the screen that looked like flesh beneath cuts. After we hear those chilling details on the audio, it begins to cut out and we can hear screaming in the background as the gamer tries to warn others about Sonic.exe. The audio sounds like the gamer is hallucinating. That's when we hear the gamer begin struggling with something in the background. Then a gunshot goes off, causing the audio to go to complete static. In at number 8, Lost Sonic. This creepypasta is about a gamer who finds a mysterious cartridge in his attic with the words "Lost Sonic" on it. When he plays the game, the original title screen was very unusual. The screen was black with the Sonic title and a giant ring. Except once in the game, he noticed there wasn't any enemies or rings. Seemingly out of nowhere, Robotnik appears and kills Sonic, except instead of a death scene, the screen just cuts to black. The gamer resets his system, except this time the screen is red, and under the Sonic character is the word "lost." After playing through this level, a message pops up that says, "You couldn't escape," followed by Sonic hanging from a noose. Shocked by this imagery, the gamer shuts it off and throws the game in the garbage. Good move, kid. Number 7, Depressed Sonic. This creepypasta is yet again about a mysterious Sonic the Hedgehog that a gamer found, except the title of the game read Sonic Depression. Rather than the usual title screen that would appear in Sonic, the first act title oddly just said Life. As the gamer plays through and reaches the second act, he's bewildered again as it reads Confusion. While playing the game, he notices that Sonic appears to have a sad expression on his face. Confused by this, he tries to show a friend, but the game was frozen, and when the friend leaves, it unfreezes, thus causing a text box to appear on the screen that says, "Only one may see this." The third act title screen just says Depression, and when searching for enemies in the game, he can't find any of them. Like, at all. And upon continuing this creepy game, the user finds a tombstone with Sonic's name on it. And before he can even react, spikes shoot up, hitting Sonic. Number 6, You're Next. This creepypasta is about a gamer who gets a free copy of Sonic Generations from a toy store. However, upon opening the game, he notices that the CD has no artwork on it. Instead, the words "Do not play" are written across it on a piece of tape. It's a creepypasta, so as you guessed it, the gamer ignores the message and plays on. When the game starts, the words "It begins" comes onto the screen instead of the usual text. The theme music starts, but it's oddly distorted, so the gamer just mutes his TV and continues. As he reaches the first goalpost, Sonic suddenly freezes and won't move no matter what he presses. A new stage then begins, and that title is Time to Die. You'd think at this point he would just stop, but no, he plays on. The gamer sees Amy Rose appear with her eyes flashing red, and as she chases him down, he can hear her voice saying over and over again, "Come to play." When she catches Sonic, a cutscene plays with Amy cutting off Sonic's head, and as a result, the gamer throws up. Then the words "Fun Never Ends" pops up on the screen. So he frantically tries to turn off his console, but to no avail. As the gamer looks on in disbelief, his own name pops up on the screen next to the words, "You're next." Number 5, Error 404. This creepypasta is about a man who loved Sonic in the 90s, and while longing for nostalgia, he buys a Sega Online that the buyer said came with the first Sonic game. The gamer was distraught at first to find that the original label for the game had been torn off and the title of the game had scribbling all over the font. When he begins playing, a terrible static noise begins coming from the TV, and once the game finally starts, the sky is very dark and the sea appears to be sludge. The gamer also notices that Sonic appeared to be very pale and had digital tears running from his eyes. And after approaching a buzz bomber, the player was in shock because without warning, the enemy stabbed Sonic through the chest. Following that, Robotnik would appear and approach Sonic and then break his neck. All of these creepy events freaked the gamer out so much that he decided to contact the eBay user that he bought the game from. And upon searching for the seller's name though, nothing came up. Just an Error 404 page. And at number 4, Tails Drowned. This creepypasta is about a gamer who was so bored playing Sonic 2 on an emulator that he thought it would be fun to mess around with the character Tails. He was having a good time with this until Tails began doing the animation he would normally do if he was drowning. Suddenly Tails dropped out of the frame, and when the gamer restarted it, the only option was to use Sonic. Upon restarting it yet again, the logo began glitching out, and it allowed him to use Tails this time, so he continued. Once reaching the first boss, the drowning animation started again, except this time, the screen turned to a blinding white. And as the gamer tries to turn off his system, it seems to not respond and instead put the gamer in the chemical plant zone, with blood everywhere. The gamer sees a text box appear that just says yes or no. After hitting no several times, he reluctantly hits yes. That's when the screen fades to black and the corpse of Tails just appears on the screen. Creepy stuff. Number 3, Possessed Amy. This creepypasta is very similar to that of Genocide City and Hidden Palace, but in this story, a player gets an unmarked CD from an old friend who he hasn't heard from in quite some time. When he inserts the CD into his computer, it has 2 files on it, but one is oddly called Undead.exe, and upon clicking the file, he sees Amy from the 1991 Sonic game. Assuming it was a ROM, he starts playing. When the game loads, there's dead animals appearing everywhere, followed by very creepy laughter. Again and again, the user sees Amy flashing on the screen until her sprite finally appears in front of Tails and attacks him. The screen immediately goes black, and then he describes a loud, horrid screeching noise that floods from his speakers, followed by a distorted female voice that says, "Aw, that's too bad, let's try again." Let's not, Amy. And at number 2, You Will Fear Me. This creepypasta is a chilling one to say the least. A gamer was facing off against Metal Sonic when something strange begins happening. After defeating Metal Sonic, he is stuck in a wall, and then he notices that Robotnik enters the scene and destroys him with a laser beam. The next day when playing Sonic 1, the gamer is facing Robotnik and notices he has a sinister smile on his face. That's when the gamer realizes that they must have picked up a hack copy of the Sonic game, and that night they begin having terrible dreams about Robotnik, one of which was especially vivid because of the way Robotnik threatened them. Unable to sleep, the gamer decides to play the hack game some more. That's when Robotnik begins addressing them by name through the television. Trying to make it stop, the gamer uses Sonic to fight him. That's when they get an email from an unknown sender that just says, "You will fear me." Lastly, at number 1, It's All in Your Head. This last creepypasta is about a player who was so bored with his Sonic Generations game, he decides to find some glitches online. He comes across one glitch called the Mega Glitch, which allows players to loop back into the game where it normally would crash and exploit glitches. When he tries the glitch though, his game begins to lag and the theme music completely stops. Plus, when Sonic is killed, white noise blares through his speakers and the enemies continue to attack Sonic's lifeless body. After he finally respawns, every death sequence after that is more brutal than the next, each time being followed by Sonic saying, "Mega Glitch" in a high-pitched frequency. The screen would then go to black, and then the Lava Reef stage music began to play. That's when the player tried endlessly to shut off his console, but continued hearing the music. It's not until he pulls the plug out of his console that he realizes the music isn't coming from his TV. It's coming from inside his head.
Well, I'm back, guys. You thought you got rid of me, but no. I'll never be banished, not yet anyway. We're breaking away from our usual top 10 format for today's gaming vid and focusing on one specific creepypasta to really deliver the spook factor. Hey guys, welcome back, I'm your host Lucy McPhee, and today we're going to be discussing the scariest Sonic creepypastas, the Tails doll curse. So buckle up, grab some snacks and a blanket to hide under, mostly from me and my creepy delivery of the story for you all. Let's jump in. Now, this creepypasta began floating around the interwebs during 2012 after being uploaded by a user named Storyteller. He starts off by telling us that he heard this creepy gem from one of his friends. So what exactly is it? Well, to begin, a man arrives home from work one day with a gift for his son, a video game, Sonic.exe. Now, if you don't know, it's a racing game, and of course his son was over the moon to receive it. He started it up immediately, playing a few games with his dad. They had a great time, as you would expect. A few days later though, the boy was nearing the end of the game, moments away from completion. His dad came in, cheering him on as he beat the last boss and screamed in excitement as he did. However, this is where things begin to get creepy for the pair. The credits began to roll, and the dad looked on in terror, asking the boy, "What is that?" The boy responded, "That's Tails," as it gradually appeared on the screen. The dad couldn't quite shake off this uneasy feeling though, telling his son it was time for bed. Now, it was during the night that the dad snuck back into the boy's room, booting up the game quietly to give it a go himself. The game now gave him the option to play as Tails doll, so the dad clicked on it, opting to tag him up with some of the gang. Nothing was out of the ordinary to begin. The dad was having a great time, even tagging Tails doll up with Sonic, but as he did, the screen went black and the system shut off. Not too concerned, the dad decided it was probably time to head to bed. However, at around 2 AM, he heard thumping at his door. Assuming it was his son, he told him to go back to bed, but the thumping kept happening. The dad sat up, noticing a shadow under his door, and he couldn't quite shake the image of Tails doll from his mind. He got up, slowly opening the door. Then out of the darkness, he heard a voice softly speak,
"You're coming with me, forever."
It was Tails doll, blood-coated and possessed. And that's where the story ends. Very creepy. Have you guys heard this story? What are your thoughts on it? Do you believe that there's a cursed Tails doll out there haunting Sonic.exe, waiting to emerge from the game to kill? Or do you believe they are all internet myths? I mean, I do. They are. That's a creepypasta. Do you have any specific creepypastas you want us to read out and discuss on this channel? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and we can try our best to make them happen. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another gaming vid. And until next time, see you later.
Sonic.exe is perhaps one of the most well-known video game creepypastas to date. It's an urban legend that has spawned many a copycat, from scary tales within the Sonic the Hedgehog fanfiction universe to other .exe gaming pastas that borrow its format and use it to craft a spooky story for another franchise and its characters. It's even inspired some Sonic fans to recreate the game itself in the story, and turn it into something that players can download and try out for themselves in real life. But of course is, not haunted. So today we're retelling the classic myth. This is Sonic.exe. The story, written by an avid Sonic the Hedgehog gamer named Tom, begins with Tom playing Sonic Unleashed one summer afternoon. From his window he notices that the mail has arrived, so he pops out real quick to collect it. Something unusual though was left in his mailbox. It was a CD case with a disc and a note inside of it. The note, written by his friend Kyle, whom he hadn't heard from in a while, read in a quickened scrawl, "Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late, and I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it, he's after me, and if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please Tom, destroy this disc before he comes after you. It's too late for me. Don't play the game, it's what he wants. Just destroy it." Tom examined the disc. It looked like an ordinary CD-ROM, blank except for the words Sonic.exe written on it in Sharpie. The writing on the disc wasn't Kyle's, so Tom figured he must have gotten it from a pawn shop or off of eBay. Wondering just how much harm a Sonic game could actually cause, Tom ignored his friend's note and decided that he'd give the game a try, since of how much he adored Sonic titles. When he popped it into his computer, he immediately realized that it was the very first Sonic title from 1991. Score! He was stoked, he hadn't played it in years, but right before he hit start, he noticed for a split second that the title screen flickered something different. In that split second, he could have sworn he saw the Sega 1991 read Sega 666, and that Sonic's eyes had changed from their regular state to pitch black and bleeding, with 2 red glowing dots. The screen went black for a few seconds, and then the data select appeared. Beneath it, the music was playing in reverse. The data select offered up an unexpected surprise. You could choose to play as Tails, Knuckles, or Dr. Robotnik. This was very different than the classic Sonic title, that's for sure. That's when Tom realized realized that this was probably a hacked game. Knuckles and Robotnik were locked, so he selected Tails. The screen went black, and Tom could have sworn that he heard the faintest sound, creepy laughter, coming from the game. Finally, the level title screen appeared and read Hill Act 1. When that screen disappeared, it revealed Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, with the peaceful music still in reverse. Now when Tom started running, the ground was just flat. Everything was peaceful, no enemies. This lasted for a few minutes, but then that's when Tom saw something strange. In front of him was one of the small animals that Sonic rescues in the game. It lay there on the ground, seemingly dead, bleeding out. Tails' expression changed. It was somber. Tom kept moving. As he went, more of these small dead animals appeared, with some of them appearing more gruesome than others. One squirrel was hanging from a tree with its entrails exposed. A bunny had all 4 of its limbs torn off, and a duck had its eyes gouged out and throat slit. Tom felt sick. Tails' expression looked as if the feeling was mutual. The music eventually stopped, even though Tom still kept moving forward with Tails. There was a hill that appeared. He began to move Tails up it, but Tails all of a sudden froze. Confused, Tom was about to try to restart the game until he saw why Tails wasn't moving. Sonic had now appeared. Tails moved over to Sonic on his own, with Tom assuming that this was some sort of cutscene. All of a sudden, Sonic stuck out his hand and touched Tails. His eyes went red, and static noise began to burst through Tom's speakers. The screen went black for a few seconds. Then, text appeared. Hello, do you want to play with me? The game then transitioned to a different level title screen that had the text Hide and Seek. This time the level looked like Angel Island from Sonic 3, except instead of the colorful traits that level normally had, it was now entirely on fire. Tails looked horrified. He looked towards the screen as if he was breaking the fourth wall and gestured to Tom as if he wanted to get out of there ASAP. Tom moved him forward, but it was as if he was moving slower than normal. Flashes of Sonic started to appear all over the screen again, with those black and red eyes. The music changed. It was now a version of the Sonic Drowning theme music. And then Sonic appeared, flying through the air behind Tails with a sinister grin on his face. Tails tripped and fell to the ground. Sonic then disappeared as Tails laid there, appearing to cry. Moments later, Sonic returned, walking up to Tails with that evil grin on his face. Just as he lunged for Tails, the screen went black. Text appeared on the screen again. You're too slow. Want to try again? Tom was surprised to be brought back to the data select screen. Tails was now locked, with his character appearing behind static in the television screen above, his eyes bleeding out. Tom selected the only option that he could, the now unlocked Knuckles. Text appeared on the loading screen that read, "You can't run." Tom was now playing as Knuckles, running through an industrial level that had thick red clouds above. As he ran, the level was empty with no enemies, just terrifying music. All of a sudden, static covered the screen for a split second, shocking Tom. As he pressed on, the static kept interrupting the game, and eventually, after a split second of it, blood appeared all over the track, with Knuckles running along large puddles of it until Sonic appeared. He lunged at Knuckles out of nowhere. The screen filled with static yet again, until finally a black screen appeared with the text, "Found you." The game then returned to Knuckles and Sonic, with Tom desperately trying to run in the opposite direction of Sonic, but it was as if Knuckles' feet were being sucked into the pool of blood beneath him. Sonic watched as he moved ever so slightly. Tom decided that he would do something bold, seemingly unable to run away. Instead, he ran in the direction of Sonic. Within a split second, Sonic teleported behind Knuckles, so Tom ran in the opposite direction again, trying to catch him. Sonic teleported once more. There was a loud screech and the screen went black. New text appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? Tom was then returned to the character screen, with Knuckles now locked, his bloody face and fists distorted behind the television screen static. All that was left was Robotnik, who was now unlocked. Tom selected the villain. The level loading screen appeared, now with 3 dots instead of any text at all. When the level fully loaded, Robotnik was in a bricked room with checkered squares on the floor, with blood stains all over the walls. He looked nervous, a pixelated bead of sweat on his face. As Tom moved Robotnik, the character just slid along, not using his normal running action. He eventually dropped down some steps where more blood splatters drenched the walls. And then there was another flight of stairs that seemed to go on forever, leading to a corridor with more blood. Sonic then appeared. The screen lit up with static. It stayed like that for a few seconds. Then all of a sudden an image of Sonic appeared, blood all over his face, his eyes dark black, pierced by tiny red sinister dots. Above him text read, "I am God." The screen went static again. The sounds of screaming emitted from Tom's speakers. Finally, it went black, and text appeared that read, "Ready for round 2? This is when Tom heard something from behind him. It was now late at night. His room was pitch black. He turned around and dread filled his body. Sitting there on his bed was something that he did not anticipate. It was a Sonic plushie, covered in blood. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other variations of this creepypasta have you heard before? Let us know in those comments below. If you dug this video, spread the love, hit that like button, and be sure to check out our channel for more gaming creepypastas. In the meantime though, thanks for watching, friends. I'll catch you all in the next video.
We are delving back into the world of creepypastas today, delivering to you guys a one-off story posted on the interwebs about one of your favorite games, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the story titled Perfect Game. Let's jump in. Now I found this spooky Sonic story on the Creepypasta wiki. Uploaded by an unknown user, it tells the story of the time they came across a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a game they had desperately been wanting for a long time, as they were big fans of the retro consoles and older games, particularly the older Sonic games. Now it's worth noting that throughout the story they write, "I should never have bought this perfect game." So it's pretty clear that things go bad pretty damn fast. Anyway, I digress. They ordered the game off of Amazon, feeling confident it'd be in good condition as they never had any issues with games they had bought online before. About a week later it arrived. Now it didn't come in its original case, it was just the cartridge. But that didn't faze them, considering it was second hand and they weren't expecting much else. It was also the correct label, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about. Right? She shared a room with a friend, so when she booted up the game she promised to keep it down as they were going to bed. Right off the bat she noticed the graphics were slightly distorted, but they figured it was just an old game and that was bound to happen. Sonic and Tails raced onto the screen and they played on, completing the first level, marveling at how perfect the game was. They played for a few hours, leaving off at Hydro City before going to bed. The next few days she continued to play, involving her roommate now. They both loved it. It was the perfect game. There was no reason to worry about anything anymore, because it was the perfect game. They became so obsessed they even changed their desktop background to Tails so he could greet her every time she had to do homework. I mean, why wouldn't you? They go on to recommend this game, saying everyone should try it. Why would you want to do anything else but help them achieve perfection in this perfect game? The story ends with, "I should never have bought this game." Right. First things first, this girl needs help, psychological help. She needs a mental institution. Clearly the game has some sort of code embedded that leaves users hypnotized by the perfection of Sonic. What's even more terrifying is that "I should never have bought this game" is said throughout. Each time a different letter is capitalized, put those letters together, it reads, "I need help." She does need help, she needs a lot of help. Well, there we have it. Did you find this creepypasta spooky? Do you believe in haunted or cursed games that can corrupt your mind? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another gaming vid. And until next time, see you later.